Hello Sagittarius, welcome back to my channel if you're returning. If you're new, welcome. I hope you enjoy the reading. This will be your life reading. Okay, in the first house we have water element, which is sensing. So this is everything to do with your personality, your outward appearance, how you are projecting yourself in the world, your physical body, and how you look to others, how you are perceived by others. So with the water element sensing in there, this is a sign of good flow, feeling quite positive. You may internally feel a little bit like you kind of have no boundaries, or you're feeling like you're slightly adrift, but the power to harness the power of this particular aspect is just go with the flow, just move with how things are moving around you at this time. Feel your place in the greater scheme of things. Just move with the flow, and if you learn to go with it, you will actually feel quite happy in yourself, because it will sort of give you that security that you are just going with how the energies are moving around you at this time. So it's basically the path of least resistance. Don't try and swim upriver or make strong statements or put yourself out there too much. Just go with what needs to be done, and you will find your way. You will actually get to where you need to be. And if obstacles come up, if you feel that perhaps you're not coming across as you should, or you feel slightly out of step with others, just flow around them. Just flow around your difficulties or obstacles, because that's what water actually does. So just go with the current, move with the current. Then in the second house you have Saturn, which is truth. So the second house deals with your money, your income, and your values, also your possessions, property, as in land and real estate, and also the environment. So with Saturn in here, you may be feeling very restricted at this time perhaps in your daily finances and how your income, and it may be making you sort of assess your values again, what it is you own, what you don't own, what you would like to own, and so on. Saturn can be seen as quite a hard taskmaster. It will require you to work hard towards your goals. So the reason for this, the reason why it makes you feel restricted, is because out of that will come a strong foundation. You've got to actually build. You've got to actually create strong stepping stones to where you need to be. So you just may be feeling that there's no, like you perhaps don't have the freedom of money and purchasing what you want and building up your possessions at this time, but it may not be appropriate now for you. From what I can see, you are in some kind of transition as well. So you've got to learn to work with the energies of Saturn, which is basically to put your shoulder to the wheel, bide your time, work methodically through things, and get to the truth of your situation as well. So in that is, accept that you may not have followed the same path as others. You may not have the house with the picket fence or all the possessions that you require, but that having material abundance is not necessarily appropriate at this time, and it might be something that you would like to aim for. So you can work towards that, but what you're being asked to do right now is to lay a good foundation, put your building blocks in place, have a good structure. And just put your shoulder to the wheel, because it will pass. It won't be it won't happen overnight. You will have to spend a bit of time, but you need to bring stability into your income. Just be frugal with what you're doing. Be careful about what you're purchasing, and just keep going in the direction of your dreams. Then in the third house you have Mercury retrograde, which is anything with the re in front of it. So reinvent, release, review. There's lots of different connotations to this. Mercury is the planet of communication, and it's in actually your house of communication. So this is communication of all kinds. It's verbal, written, body language. It also rules electronics and tech of all kinds. So in your communication house, when Mercury goes retrograde, it appears to be going backwards. It's sort of an illusion, actually. And what it forces you to do is it forces you to go back over certain aspects of your life for revision or reinvention. So you're going to have to look at things again that you perhaps did before. Perhaps your method of communicating in the past is changing now. So you're now evolving as a person. There's growth and so on. And so now you need to change the way you are communicating with others. So there's going to be some kind of shift there. Also, it can bring about situations where what you are saying is not being clearly understood. You're being misunderstood, or what you're writing is being misunderstood. So it's a period normally. Mercury retrograde is a sort of a 3-week period, more or less, 3 to 4 times a year. So this is a general reading for this current period. So you can expect for the next 3 weeks or so, depending how far you are into the cycle, where you'll notice there will be a shift when it'll be clear now you can communicate better and you will have been through your revisionary phase. But it may just mean that at this time, just be careful. Double check what you say, double check what you write. Any form of contract, it's not a good time to be signing a contract now. So if you've been offered a contract or you want to purchase something and you're looking at the contract, it would be better to put it off until you feel the energy shift again, until you feel it's the right time to be moving forward. But if you absolutely have to sign something at this time, perhaps ask somebody else that you trust to give you their viewpoint, to go over the contract and to look at it with a fine-tooth comb, because really it's about detail, looking at it very, very carefully, because what could happen at this time is you may purchase something and then it doesn't work, or something goes wrong down the line and you'll have to return it. And it's the same with your communication. What you put out there may not work and it will come back to you, or something that you've been working on will have to be delayed. So just bear that in mind. And if it's to do with your relationships with your siblings, something you may say may be taken up badly, and you would have to think about it and try again later at another time. So if you've got nothing positive to say, or it's not going to help to blurt out the truth about something, just rather keep quiet and mull over what you're going to say. Just be careful with that. Sagittarians tend to just say what they think, and they don't think about the consequences. So it's foot in mouth syndrome. So just think about that going forward. And if it's to do with contracts, just rather avoid it at this time if possible. Otherwise, go over everything in great detail, because something can go wrong. You may actually have electrical appliances also just going on the blink during this period. They just don't work. Or you may need to back up your computer or your cell phone or whatever it is. Any kinds of electronics that you may be using may just for some reason be on the blink and not functioning, or going through a weird phase, or you may need to upgrade something. So bear that in mind. Also, you may have people coming back into your life from before. Some other person that you've met, or it could be that you've been out of contact with a sibling for a long time. Now they're suddenly back in your life. It can bring things from the past back again for another look at it, for another go at it. And when you're forced to look at something again in great detail, or to go over something again, usually you will the right recipe or the right words will come out later, but you need to go through that period of revision. Then in your 4th house, you have Capricorn, I use. So I feel this is linked to your 2nd house, which is got Saturn in it currently, because Saturn rules Capricorn. This is your house of home. It's also your house of your ancestral roots, your foundation, your family roots, and your ethnic identity, and so on. So some of those areas may be coming up for you. If it's probably more than likely it's to do with home. You may just be feeling at this time like a bit as if you've made no progress, or you haven't achieved what you want to, you haven't got the stable home that you require, or you haven't built up that steady base like other people. Try not to compare yourself with others. But what it indicates is that this is going to be a slow process. You're going to have to use your resourcefulness to build up a bit of a home, or to have a home area, or you may be going through changes in your home, and it's going to take a bit of time. It's going to take resourcefulness, and you're going to have to use all your best faculties, your best contacts. It's I use. So whatever is required in the situation, you're going to have to use that to work towards harmony in your home life, or to do with your reconciling yourself with your ethnic identity and so on. And if this is connected, I do feel it's connected in a way to your second house, which is all about your values and your money, your income. There may be delays there. Saturn does cause delays as well. So you may just feel that you're getting nowhere with that, or there's something that you just is slipping out of your fingers. You just can't seem to get it sorted out in your home life, or you just may be feeling that you're not settled. So it's going to take a bit of time, and you need to use your resourcefulness to actually harness everything that's going around, and you may just have to ask for help from others as well. But it's a building sign. It's social contacts. It's creating a foundation, it's stability, all of those things. So it may take time to achieve that, or you may be asked to bring that in. If you've been going through a rough patch where things have been very unsettled, you may be asked to bring that groundedness, that earthiness, and that determination into your home life. In your fifth house, you have Chiron, which is for healing. It's called wisdom through pain. That's the ethos around Chiron, and it's to do with internal and even external healing. It's appearing in your fifth house, which is your house of children, creativity, and love affairs, and all forms of recreation. That can be sports or just having fun. So you may feel that you're not having as much of a fun time at this point. You may feel that there are some deeper issues going on, or it could be that the children that are connected to you may be going through a bit of emotional healing at this time, or you could be going through emotional healing. And it's affecting your children as well, or vice versa. So you could be just called upon to have a good look at the way you are approaching your children, or the way you are approaching your own self healing, and having fun, and just so possibly activities that you have done before, you're not going to get as much out of them now. So you may be wanting to go and do activities, forms of recreation and relaxation, which are going to bring you healing. So whether it's walks in nature, or just spending time in peace and quiet, or going for healing therapies, because Chiron is a lot about to do with medicines, natural therapies, natural healing. So you may just find you need to go and spend a bit of quiet time and rejuvenate yourself in any one of those fields. Perhaps go for enjoy a retreat, or some kind of place or therapy, which is going to give you a bit of emotional healing, or just make you feel good, whether it's externally or internally. There's a lot of that. Or it could be that your children may need that, some deep emotional healing. But whoever it is, whether it's yourself or you're going through a period of healing, and there's wisdom through pain. So there could also be issues to do with their schooling, that they're just growing through a difficult time now. Or you could be teaching others about wisdom through pain. So in other words, pain that you've experienced in your life, you may be passing that on to others as well, and possibly even your children. So there's ways of sharing your own personal experiences and so on. If it's a love affair, you may be drawn to somebody who is going to bring about emotional healing in you, or you could be going through it together. So the love affair that you're involved in, it may just be perceived as a little bit traumatic, or a little bit stressful or difficult, but through that you will explore your own pain or their pain, and from that you will learn and you will gain wisdom out of that. Then in the 6th house, you have North Node, which is life's purpose. Your 6th house is everything to do with your work, your service work, if you're in the service industry. And it's also about being of service. It's the mastery of your craft, your craftsmanship. It's also to do with your workplace and your colleagues. And the other big thing is your health and your diet. And also, it's also the house of pets. So with your North Node, life's purpose, it's actually a really nice thing to have in your 6th house. It's almost like your doors are opening for you. There could be a few changes and a few changes of direction, but doors are going to open for you. So there'll be opportunities. The North Node is all about moving forward into the future. So your South Node is to deal with things from the past, put things from the past to bed, any karmic inheritance from the past, dealing with difficult issues, moving past them and moving forward. And the North Node is about the receiving of those karmic happenings or benefits in some way. So you may be meeting people from your soul family, and you'll just feel an instant connection with them. There may be people that you're working with, or just in your workplace, colleagues or people that are passing through your workplace. But you may feel deeply connected to them. They're going to help you in some way, or they're going to put you in the correct direction, or they're going to be with you during the phases of your work, or they're going to assist you with your craft, whatever it is that you're mastering. You could also be taking on work projects which are deeply connected to your life purpose. You could be in some way dealing with people who are have had difficulties in their life, and your sharing of your wisdom through pain and so on is helping you to help them in a way, or to share experiences. And it could also be charity work, working for social reform and helping those that are less fortunate than yourself. So that could be a work project. It could be a change of direction in your work. But whatever it is going to bring good benefits to you, and it's going to seem like your life purpose. It's going to seem like the doors are swinging open, and that you're actually finally seeing the future and where you want to go. But it's a very beneficial thing to have in that house. And it could also be to do with finally seeing the light, or receiving a benefit to do with your health and your diet. Always be striving to be careful about what you put in your body. And you may just receive a benefit, or you may just receive some kind of gift when it comes to your health. If you've been grappling with something, somebody will come along to assist you, or you will receive a gift of healing or abundance, or some kind of benefit to lift you out of that and push you in the direction of where you need to go, or to find the answers. So this is it's a broad spectrum benefit, and it's almost like you're finally on the path, your path to healing, or path to in your work, in your craft, and whatever it is that you're dealing with. You may want to further your studies. You may be receiving some kind of benefit. And you could also be doing a variety of different jobs, but you may be also in the spotlight. You may be receiving recognition about what it is that you do. So it's a very beneficial thing to have in your 6th house. Very good thing. Then in your 7th house, the house of relationships, this is close personal relationships. It could also be a business partnership. So it's partnerships of all kinds. And you've got the sun, which is your spirit, appearing in there. This is a wonderful thing to have in your 7th house. It's optimism, it's joy, it's abundance, it's having fun, it's laughter, it's putting your essence into your relationships. Bringing everything that you, all your most positive characteristics are being enhanced in this house. So it's a wonderful thing for any form of relating. You're going to be bringing your energy, your enthusiasm, your brightness of spirit into your relationship. And or you could be meeting somebody who is like that, who's going to lift you up and actually really show you a completely different aspect to perhaps what you have been before, going through before, or you together you are creating this beautiful uplifting environment. Could be a lot of fun. It could be enjoying abundance and enjoying getting out and about and having a good time, social interaction. So it's just a really good vibe all in all. So you're either bringing that into your relationship, or you're experiencing that, or you're meeting somebody who's bringing that in for you. It could be somebody who has this, who is particularly sunny. So that's a really great thing. Then in your 8th house, you have Uranus. This is the 8th house is everything to do with sex, everything to do with death and rebirth, which can be a symbolic death and a rebirth. It can also be the death of the ego, and then something new emerges out of that, one door closing, another door opening. But it's lightning bolt fast, very quick, may cause quite an upheaval. If you relate it to the tarot, it's the Tower card. So, but it's also, the wonderful thing about Uranus is tapping into your inner genius. This 8th house also deals with big finance, so that's investments, insurance, banking, accounting, other people's money, dealing with other people's money. It's also the lower courts. And it's shared resources between partners, whether it's a love relationship or a business partnership. It's your shared resources. You may even be managing the finances of other people. So just be aware, there's going to be some kind of shift, some kind of lightning bolt. Either a brilliant idea could come to you which changes everything, or you're going to experience some kind of clearing of everything that you've known before, and out of that chaos and upheaval will come something else. But it will be swift, it will be quick, and it will literally be, that fast, like a lightning bolt, where you'll be, one day this will be happening, and the next day the landscape has changed completely. The benefit of Uranus is that it brings technology in, any sort of advanced tech. So if this is to do with a business or any kind of managing of finance, inheritances, legacies, anything like that. As I say, it's insurance, big money. Then taxes as well. There's the other thing. So if you're perhaps even going through some kind of splitting of your resources, or perhaps you don't know that this is coming, it may come, where your resources between partnerships or between partners now has to be split. So because this house can be the house of divorce as well, but it's also the house of bonding between partners on a deeper level. It's the sexual side of it, and it's the resources between you, whether it's material or emotional, physical. So there's going to be a shift, a change of some sort in that. It may just be that the way you have done things before, maybe you were married before, now you've divorced and you've met somebody else, and you have this incredible shift from how things used to be, how you thought things used to be, now they're changing. It could also be that you may be coming across people who are quite Uranian, and they could be assisting with your money, or they could be helping you, or you could be using technology which is going to assist you with that. It could also be meeting people that have different sexuality to yourself. So, this covers a vast array of gender differences. So you could be socializing or meeting others who are of a different sexual orientation to yourself, or different sexual orientations, because Uranus is also, it's eccentric, it's unusual, it's not conventional at all. So it's quite a broad subject, the 8th house, but it's bringing that in, and it's the god of change, it's the god of the unexpected, and slightly eccentric, very erratic. It can bring that in. There's lots of quick change, or things will be seen to be erratic somehow. And, you know, it could also be the dynamics, but in your relationship, things could be erratic, or your finances could be erratic. You know, there's lots of different connotations to that. But if you're going back to finance, then harness your Saturn that's going on in your income, and just build a strong foundation, and work hard and work solidly towards what you want. So if you experience a massive change or a shift of some sort, then go back to your roots and to your strong foundation. Then in the ninth house, we have Mars, which is force. Your ninth house is everything to do with international travel, anything foreign, dealing with foreign people or import, export, that kind of thing. But it's global things, dealing with things, people or situations from different countries, long distance. It's also the house of publishing, the house of the law, the higher courts. It's the house of further education, so university. It's the house of religion and belief systems. And it can also be in-laws, relationships with your in-laws. It's prophecy, it's your intuitive processes as well, promotional work of all kinds. So now with Mars appearing in there, Mars force, you're going to have to fight for something. You're going to have to fight. You're going to have to take action in something, or you're going to have to literally scorch the earth and start again. It's dynamic. It's clearing the energies. It's very fiery, very opportunistic. It's creating something. Fire is very creative. It's clearing. It's all about taking action, and actually you may have to protect something of yours. You may have to protect your point of view. I mean, I'm just thinking, if you're dealing with perhaps in-laws of some sort, you may have to fight for your rights there, or for your point of view, or for something that you require. There's some kind of dynamic energy going on in that house. If you're traveling, for instance, you may just need to take action on something, but it's quite forceful. It covers a grand variety of things, but it's definitely about adventure as well. I would say also, if you're going to be studying something, there's quite a significant action that you need to be taking. You may have to defend yourself on some front there. But it's certainly, it also could be just finding your purpose, going at it with incredible energy and dynamic focus. It could just be that as well. Right, then there we go into the 10th house, which is Gemini, I think. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and it's an air sign. So it's in your house of career and authority figures, and also dealing with your public status. So it could be a change of status of some kind. It can also be your fame, your notoriety, and your reputation. So Gemini is changeable. You could be going through changes, one day this and then the next day that, or you may have to change your focus in some ways. It could be dual things that you're following, but it's also the main thing is, I think. So you're going to have to apply the mental faculties to your career and your house of ambition. You may be going through changes there, quick changes. You start on one path and then something changes and now you have to go to another path, or you could be doing two things at once. So, but it involves communication of all kinds. So again, coming back to your other house, your third house, which is the house of communication. There's reinvention there, looking at something carefully, and it's coming in again, the air sign and the Mercury element coming in again to this house. So this is kind of paving the way for what it is you're wanting to achieve in your career. It could also be media, it could be electronics, it could be tech of some sort. Either harnessing those things in your career or moving into a field where that is required. It could just be communicating in general. Perhaps you are doing the social media for your workplace, or you're required to do that. So it's using all of those faculties and those abilities in your house of career and your and what, when it comes to your status, you may be changing status. So, for instance, going from an employee to a business owner, or single to married. You know, those are the transitions that can happen, and it's also just using the forces of communication to further your career or your ambitions. Or if you're dealing with an authority figure, you need to be quick thinking, think on your feet, be very communicative, and be open to lots of different things. Geminis are very curious. They love multitasking. They love the intellect. They love learning. So they enjoy the media. They're perfectly cut out for all media activities. So it's going to be something to do with that's coming into that house for you. Then in the 11th house, you have the fire element, which is desire. Again, you're having another fiery aspect coming in. The fire element, again, is very dynamic, very creative. It's scorching and starting again, or literally putting a fire under something. It could be an idea or some kind of element that you want to bring in, but it's harnessing your desire, and that's going to kickstart other aspects of your chart. So it could be this, all the 9th house aspects, or your career aspects, something that you want to do, something that you want to even transmit, because the 11th house deals with your hobbies, your interests, your social networks, your friendships, and any kind of group or club that you remember of. So it's quite dynamic, creative, and there's a lot of, it may even be impulsiveness in there. So just temper that. By all means, use that energy to create what you want or to transmit what you want. But don't go over the deep end and be overly aggressive or dive in and to only achieve your goals. Because certainly when you're working with networks and friendships and groups, you're working with others, essentially. So by all means, bring the power of the fire element into that, but try to create work in cooperation with others, but bring the ideas in and put a fire under something to get it cracking, literally. It could also be that you are cracking the whip when it comes to friendships, being very clear and very decisive and very dynamic with that. Or you may be attracting new friends who are like that, who are going to influence you and literally put a fire under you as well. So it's something you're either observing or you're needing to bring in. And with your networks, if it's to do with your communication, to do with your career and your reputation, your ambitions, you need to harness your networks or the groups that you're members of. You need to actually bring in that element to fire it up, to literally fire your ideas up, and to actually get things moving. So it could be communication, but what you're going to say and what the energy you're going to bring in is going to literally be quite dynamic. Then in the 12th house, you have Black Moon Lilith, which is this is the card of mystery and magic. It's also the darker side of the feminine. So this card can bring in experiences of the dark feminine, which is revenge and bitchiness and very cutting and ruthless almost. Or it's the mystery coming in and the magic and the creation side of it. So now it also means that there's a bit of a mystery going on. There's something which is not quite ready to be revealed. It's there, but it hasn't been brought to the surface yet. So now the 12th house deals with seclusion, meditation, retreat, withdrawal. It's the house of the subconscious. So you may have to do a bit of deep soul searching, retreat, spend time on your own, just coming to terms with certain drives and subconscious drives that you have. Perhaps you feel vengeful about something. Perhaps you feel deep down some kind of hidden thing that is driving you to behave in a certain way, or it's perhaps painful to actually deal with. But certainly Black Moon Lilith is not a time to be backing down either. It's about your feminine power, harnessing your feminine power, and your you may have to go it alone in some instances as well. So there's a lot of self-reflection and then determination, but it could also be either something is lurking in your subconscious which needs to be dealt with, or it could be that you're perceiving that in your environment as well. There's something that hasn't been revealed, or it's a little bit hidden for now. Also, your 12th house deals with anything to do with drugs and addictions of all kinds. It's also the house of escapism. So it could just be dealing with issues around that, which you need to contemplate and actually come to terms with. But Black Moon Lilith is not a one to shy away from a challenge. So it's something you need to challenge yourself on and actually get to grips with it, to actually free up those unconscious drives which may be creating problems for you. Or it could be that you're experiencing that, you're seeing things in your environment, because the 12th house also deals with visiting places like hospitals, any form of institution, hospitals, clinics, prisons even, also government institutions, banks, libraries, universities, any kind of institution. And it's your experience that you're going through there, or when you may visit somebody there, and you'll see certain things going on. But always try to harness the mystery and the magic side of the Black Moon Lilith card, because this 12th house is also about mysticism. It's also about healing and your spiritual connection as well. So it's a strong card to be having in there, but I do feel you need to be doing a little bit of searching and putting things, bringing things to the light, dealing with them, and then letting them go. But it's a form of challenge that you may be required. You may be feeling alone in that, but you've got the chutzpah to deal with it. So I'm quite sure you will come to terms with things, and you will clear things out, and enjoy the greater mysteries of life as well, and perhaps do a bit of research into the feminine, the rise of the divine feminine, which is very prominent at this time. All right, Sagittarius, thank you for joining me, and have a great month, and take care.